Hey, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Nisi, aka the Ebony Traveler. So today I will be doing a story time, and it is a story time. However, it is also something that I feel like people can learn from, which I hope all of my story times are, but this one especially is very personal, and I do hope that, you know, someone can take something away from it. Before I get into the story time, I just want to say, hey, welcome. If you haven't done so already, you know, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and even Twitter so you can stay updated. So we're gonna jump right into the video now. And this video is pretty much all about me being bullied in high school. It's definitely something that, like, I feel like needs to be talked about, because I realize I do have younger subscribers. I have subscribers of all age ranges. Even if you aren't in high school, maybe this is something that you can relate to, having happened to you in high school. But for me, this did happen. So I want to remind everyone that this event happened when I was 15 years old. However, I do feel like, you know, it's a story that I can tell. I went to a Catholic school, not because I'm Catholic, it was because it was uniform, and my mom like really wanted me to wear a uniform, so she sent me there. Plus it was literally a 2-second walk from my house. Like, there was no reason why I shouldn't go there. So when I got to high school, my first year of high school, I was fine, I guess. I had my friends from elementary school. I got into one fight in grade 9 with actually one of my friends, oddly enough. It was a physical altercation, and that was the first time I had ever fought someone. So when I came back in grade 10 from summer break, a lot of the guys in my grade were like, ooh, Nisi, you've been eating your bread and butter. I was like, what does that even mean? Oh, you've been eating your dumpling, you've been eating this, and this, essentially saying, you know, I've been eating that good food and I got that good weight on. And so they kept on making little comments at me and whatever, and I was just like, okay, they're being weird and I'm uncomfortable, and that's that. This is where the bully comes into play. We're gonna call the bully, what should we call her? Let's just call her Emma. Okay, will I remember that? Pretty much, Emma hung out with the guys. Now, I'm not here to insult anybody. Let's just say I was developed, however Emma was not. And we hung out kind of in the same group, but Emma and I weren't friends, but we were enemies. Like, we were just like, whatever. You know those people that are just like around? That's how Emma was. She was just around, and I was just around her, and we knew each other in passing. Plus, our first and last names were so friggin' similar. Like, people oftentimes would call me her name or call her my name, right? Okay, so I had to give a couple more names. So there's Emma, and then there's another friend. We're gonna call her Kaylee, and there's one more friend, Melissa. So we have Emma, Kaylee, and Melissa, okay? So Kaylee and Melissa, they were my friends from elementary school. I want you to keep that in mind. And then Emma was the bully, okay? So Emma was becoming good friends with my friend Kaylee because they ran track together. And Emma, at first she was irrelevant, but as the year progressed, she started to become more relevant because she started doing something that was pretty petty, and I'm really surprised people didn't realize it. Like, if she went to a party and something embarrassing happened to someone, she would take a picture of it and she'd post it on the internet. People find that stuff hilarious. So Emma and I had a lot of classes together. Our lockers were next to each other. Like, it was not a joke. The guy that Emma liked, he kept on talking to me. Like, he would even message me on MSN. Everyone remember MSN Messenger? He used to message me on MSN Messenger. And if anyone from Toronto is watching this, if you know vibe.to, that used to be like the MySpace for us. And he used to talk to me at school. No problem. I didn't think anything of it. I just moved forward. You know what I mean? Oh, let's give the guy she likes a name. I was just gonna give him his real name. Shit. His name's Bob, okay? I don't know if Bob liked me or if he was just gonna attempt to try something with me, but I wasn't like that, so it was not gonna happen, Bob. As the weeks progressed, I started to see Emma side-eyeing me. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm imagining this. But then at a certain point, Emma stopped talking to me, and I'm like, yo, why doesn't this girl talk to me? Like, I would go out of my way and I'd say, hey, Emma, and she would ignore the living daylights out of me. And I'm like, yo, why's this girl ignoring me? And then one day I started hearing that Emma was talking about me to people. And Emma had told someone that I was a slew. Now, for those of you guys who are not from Toronto, a slew essentially is a slut without the T, which meant that you slept around with people. And no sorry, Bob, I was not anything like that, because one, I was a virgin. 2, I didn't like anybody touching me. And 3, like, I was rude as like, I was telling every guy no. I was curving. Like, I was not talking to them like that. So pretty much, Emma started telling people that I was a slew. She started spreading it around high school. Emma was creating a divide. So Emma and I hung out with the same group of people, but because she started disliking me and she started lying to people and lying on my name, essentially, she started to create a divide between the group of people that we were with. So it's either take Emma's side or take Niecy's side. And it was like, I don't know what it was, but people like just decided to take Emma's side. Like, they decided to believe what Emma had to say, and it was honestly because Emma was more popular. I'm not gonna lie, like, I wasn't unpopular, but because of the sneaky shit she was doing with the pictures and stuff, she was more popular. People knew her name in other schools. Like, a lot of people knew this girl. Like, she was like, I don't know, famous. You know, people knew her more, and also she had more friends because she was in everything like salt. Like, this girl talked to literally everybody, whereas me, I had my group of friends and I just talked to whoever. And you know, if I talked to someone else, it's probably because they were in a class with me and not because I was begging friend, because she was begging friend. Essentially, she wanted to be popular, right? Like, a lot of the guys in the group, they started acting like little girls, and they were really mean to me. Like, yeah, they were just making fun of me nonstop. One day I was leaving school and I was with Kaylee and Melissa, right? So anyways, I'm standing up there, and then Emma pulls up, and we're in the staircase because there's a way we could get outside through the staircase. And Emma pulls up and she's like,
I heard you're talking about me.
And I'm like, I heard you were talking about me. And she's like,
oh, okay, so okay, I was talking about you. I'm like,
okay, so I was talking about you. Like, it was honestly going nowhere. And I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah,
I said you were a slew.
I was just like, okay, why are you talking about me? No, I'm not. And she's like, yes, you are. So when I asked her, I'm like, how am I a slew? She didn't really have an answer.
You're just a slew. You're just a slew.
And then she went on to say, oh,
you stick your bum out in class so that
the guy, the basketball player behind me, you can see my bum. Like, I had really, really good posture. So when I used to sit up like this, like, my chest would go out and my bum would go out. And I guess it was making her really angry, because that's why the man that she liked, Bob, wasn't messing with her, because, you know, she honestly wasn't developed. And I'm not ragging on anyone who isn't developed, because everyone develops at their own rate. But, you know, also don't come after me because I'm more developed than you. That's not fair to me. And she also said, I'm always hugging people. So I was like, okay. She also had told me that I stuffed my bra. So anyways, this is where it gets embarrassing, and this is where it really began. This is where she found out she had won people over. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm not having this argument with you anymore. I was like, come on, let's go, Kaylee. Come on, let's go, Melissa. Kaylee and Melissa did not move. And she's just sitting down there smirking, like, and I'm like, come on, Kaylee. Come on, Melissa. And she's just there like, I don't know why I didn't just leave. Like, I don't know why in my head I didn't just pick up and go. I don't know what it was. I said it one more time. I said, Melissa, Kaylee, let's go. And then they're like, they just stood there. And she's like,
they're not coming with you. Just go. You don't have any friends.
I was like, ooh, saying that again, that kind of got my chest. So I left. And as I told you guys, I have a mouth on me. So I called Kaylee and Melissa, and I'm like, yo, you guys are snakes. And they're like, oh, no, we're not snakes. I'm like, yes, you are. Why would you guys leave me? Oh, we didn't want to get involved. So you stayed with her? That makes sense. But maybe they felt like, oh, she's just in drama and we don't want to be in it. So after that day, that's when pretty much things started going downhill for me. And it was really bad because I had vibe.to, right? So people would come on I'd be afraid to log onto my computer because people would come on my wall and write things like slew, and they'd be calling me outside my name. In high school, I kind of coined a nickname. It's called vocals, right? Because I thought I could, like, sing. People would start saying stuff like, oh, do you know why they call her vocals? And it wasn't just her, it was her goonies too. So the guy, Bob, and his friends, they all kind of turned against me as well. All of a sudden, I wasn't attracted to them, and all of a sudden, I was a slew, and all of a sudden, I was this and that, and I had never done any of the things that they said I was doing. But she was spreading around the school, and my school isn't as big as a lot of high school. It was not as big as a lot of high schools. It had 2 floors and minimum amount of classes. Our school wasn't big at all, so if there was beef, like, everybody in the school knew about it, and she knew that. So she would just go around the school talking about me. I had a flip phone. I remember one day I left my phone on the table, and I had walked away to go get food or something, right? So I come back and my phone is missing. Mind you, this is a cheap flip phone. Like, there's no reason for anyone to steal this. And this one guy, oh my God, he was worse than Bob. Like, oh, fuck, what can I call him? Eric. Let's just call him Eric. Eric was like the devil in human form. Like, he was so terrible to me. Like, he was best friends with Emma. So Emma and Eric were best buddies, and like, he did everything in his power. Even though he was a guy, he did everything in his power to make my life a living frigging hell. Oh my god, I'm like flashing back now. Like I went to the office and I told them, you know, someone stole my phone, and they're like, okay, well, we'll try and find it. And then all of a sudden my phone turned up at the office once they realized that I was telling my mom, I was telling the principal. Within the same day it showed up again, and I knew that Eric had stolen it because one of my friends had said Eric grabbed it off the table. But obviously they weren't my friend at the time because they were there when Eric grabbed it, and they didn't tell me. Everyone just sat there to be searching for my phone. I blocked Emma on Facebook. I blocked Emma on Vibe.to. I blocked her on MSN. And the reason why I blocked her is because pretty much she was either her or her Goonies were coming on my page and they were calling me outside my name, and I didn't like it. What ended up happening, one night I was at home, just by myself, and it was starting to get to a point where I was often by myself because like my friends would always hang out with her knowing that I wouldn't hang out with her, and so they pretty much had already chosen their side, right? This is, you know what, it was just so terrible. Okay, so I'm there minding my own business, and Bob messaged me. Remember, Bob is the guy that this all started from. Bob messages me, and he's like, hey, Nisi, look at this. Bob was playing both sides. He was on Emma's side, and he was on my side. He puts Emma in a conversation with me on MSN, and you guys might be wondering, like, how? I don't know, because MSN was weird. It was like you could block somebody, but if someone else like put you like in a group conversation, then you could see it. He's like,
Emma, show her.
And I'm like, Emma, show her. Look what is Emma showing me. Emma had gone out of her way to take a picture of me, okay? A personal picture off of my Facebook. After I blocked her off of my Facebook, she took a personal picture of me. And across the picture, she wrote, slew them. So not only had she sent it to me, it was her display picture in her MSN. I want you guys to really understand how many friends this girl had. This girl had friends in other high schools. She was known throughout the high schools in Scarborough. It wasn't just my school. It was the school down the road, the school across the way. She was known in schools in West End because she was really, really good at track. And she was I told you she's doing the photography stuff and like posting pictures of people and shit. So imagine like hundreds of people are on her MSN list and hundreds of people are seeing me. And she has this thing across my forehead saying, slew them. I was infuriated because I told you I always had an attitude. I always had an attitude. So these things irritated me more than made me sad because I was confident in myself. My mom didn't raise me to be a freaking punk, okay? Like, I am a very strong individual and these things made me stronger, but in general, I was a strong individual. So the fact that Emma was trying to clown me, the fact that Emma was put me on her list and she has over 200 contacts, and I didn't know where else the picture was because I had blocked her on all forms of social media. So she could have had it on her Vibe. She could have had it, I think she had it up on her Facebook too. So anyways, after that, he's
like, do you have anything to say for yourself, Nisi?
And I could feel him smirking. Like, I could feel him smirking behind his thing. And she's like,
LOL, I don't care. I don't care.
After Emma had the whole display picture thing, the next day was a civvies day. For those of you guys who didn't go to uniform school, you won't know what civvies is. Civvies is like civilian clothes. It means that we didn't have to wear a uniform, essentially. So little 15-year-old Shanice is sitting down there staring at her computer screen. I actually, stupid me, hit up Kaylee and hit up Melissa and was like, yo, did you see what she did? La 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 la. And they didn't give pretty much I knew I was in this on my own. So I didn't tell anybody my plan for the following day because I didn't trust anybody. But what I did was I prepared. And I'm going to let you guys know that I wouldn't advise that anyone does this. However, the kind of person that I am, this is what I did. Okay? I made a mental note. I'm not going to beat this girl. That was it. Nobody bullies me. Nobody bullies Nisi. No one. How dare you take a picture of me, a personal picture of me, write profanity on it, and post it in your display picture? Are you crazy? Are you bananas? Are you nuts? Yo, dog, honestly, I'm the kind of person I move in silence. Like, some people will be like, I'm gonna beat you up after school, bitch. Nope. The day came. I went to sleep angry. I woke up the next morning anxious to beat her. So I had plans of beating her ass in music class, okay? She wasn't there. And I was like, why isn't she in class? This is shocking. I'm like, I'm gonna beat her ass. I'm gonna beat her ass. So I go to science class next. One of my very good friends was in the same science class as me. And this is not Kaylee and this is not Melissa. We're gonna call her, I don't wanna give her a name. We'll just say she was one of my good friends, okay? Because I don't wanna confuse you guys. My good friend was having beef with some girl in another class who used to be her good friend. And so she was livid that morning, and it was just like a weird morning for us. And so she was like, oh my God, I want to beat that girl up so bad. I want to beat up Emma. And she's like, beat her up then. I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat her up. So honestly, you guys might say she's not a good friend because she told me to beat her up, but if you guys understood, like, I'm summarizing the torture that this girl put me through, but so I walk into class, right? And the basketball player that sits behind me was there, and he had a basketball player friend in the class as well. And so as I walk into the classroom, I see her talking to basketball player. And so remember, she had my picture in her display. And so the basketball player is congratulating her on that. He's like, oh,
I saw what you did. Yo, you're raw, you're great.
Raw pretty much means like, yo, like you don't give any fuck. Like you're cool, you're raw, whatever, right? And she's like,
oh, you know, I had to do it. No.
She's hyping herself up. And guys, I don't remember much, but I do remember me walking up to her, and I don't think she knew I was coming towards her. Like, boom. And then after I punched her in her face, she had a lot of hair. I didn't want to mention this. I'm trying not to give out too many details, but it was 10 years ago. And if she really tries to come for me, well, you don't have any friends now anyways. I don't care. I grabbed her by her hair. I know it's a really girly thing to do, but it was my second fight in my life. Grabbed her by her hair and I just swung her around by it. And she had like 20 million bubbles. If you guys know what bubbles, like little clips that little kids put in their hair. She had 20 million bubbles in her hair. I was throwing her around the room and all her bubbles are just scattering. And there was this next girl in the class and she's like, Niecy, stop it. No. And I'm just like, I don't care what you have to say, because when this girl was bullying me, you didn't have that much lip. Move. So I'm throwing her around the classroom. I'm punching her, whatever. We're not fighting. I feel like she was in a state of shock. I guess I must have thrown her on the floor. I don't know what happened, but I was like 2 steps away from stepping in this girl's face. And then like that's when she realized, oh shoot, I'm in a fight. So then she starts we start going at it. We start going back and forth. At this point, I didn't see this happen, but everyone and their mom had come into the classroom because we were one science class and the grade above us, their science class was across the hallway. So they heard, well, probably one of these mixed up people ran out in the hallway and like, yo, there's a fight. And then they all ran in to come see the fight, right? One person had me and the science teacher had her, I think, because I had elbowed the science teacher out of the way. And so a guy had me, and then as her last effort to prove that I was this slew for hugging people, sitting straight in class and whatever, she grabbed my shirt and to show that I stuffed my bra. But unfortunately, all people saw were my little Niecy titties, and that was that. And mind you, everyone in the room saw my breast because she literally pulled my shirt with my bra. Like, she was really on this tip that I stuffed my bra for some very odd reason. I was just like, this girl is such a hater. This is where I got really upset because it was clear as day that I had beat this girl up. Like, there was no question about it. Like, anyone who saw, you know, there was this one guy in the class who didn't like me, but he was also a very popular guy because, once again, he was a basketball player. So he goes, there was an awkward silence because like no one knew what to say. He's like, yo, almost said her name.
Yo, Emma won that still.
And then him and all his goonies and the rest of his class walked out. And everyone in my class is looking around like, yo, we saw this from the beginning. Yo, she got her ass beat. Like, people from my class are coming up to me like, yo, Shanice, you beat her up. So go down to the principal's office now, and the principal's talking to us, and he's like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, anyways, we got suspended, right? And I know you guys are thinking maybe that's the end of the story. This is not the end of the story because the bullying was pretty bad prior to the fight, but after the fight it got worse. I went home, right? We both got suspended, but Emma obviously does not know how to take herself to her house. After everyone finished school, Emma must have gone back. Pretty much I looked outside and I saw Emma, Melissa, Kaylee, Eric. It was a group of people outside my house. It wasn't a large group. It was maybe a group of 4 or 5 people. The fact of the matter is that Emma had never been to my house. Eric had never been to my house, which meant that Kaylee and Melissa had shown this girl where I live because she had requested them to, because she had told them to, I don't know, which I felt was mad disrespectful because why are you bringing this girl to my house? I don't like her. We just got into a fight. Like, she could come pulling up with anybody. Anything could have happened. So anyways, they led her to my house. And pretty much they stood at the end of my driveway and I sat there, and my mom came outside like, Niecy, come inside. And I'm like, nope, I'm not coming inside. I just sat down there and I stared at them, waiting for them to make their move. Why are you at my place? Like, why are you here? And the funny thing is, Emma was silent as a mouse, but Eric had all the mouth.
yo, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Come down here. Da da da. I'm like, I'm not
Come down anywhere. If you want me, come up here.
Yo, forget this.
And they left. So, okay, fine. So pretty much after that whole situation went down, it was, I'm not gonna say it was a nightmare for me, but I guess this is the aftermath of the situation. Like, I was still being bullied. People would yell slew. Her friend Eric would be the one yelling slew down the hallway. Oh my God, I just heard him doing it. He'd just be like, slew, 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 when I was walking down the hallway. And it'd be embarrassing and it'd be uncomfortable. So my locker was next to Emma's locker, and if I went to my locker, she wouldn't move. Like, she would leave her locker door wide open and wait for me to come. And then when I came, she would not move. And she'd be like,
I don't care. I don't see anybody here. Da, da, da.
she'd be going off at the mouth. And I'd be stopping myself from slapping the shit out of her because honestly, God knows I want to fight that girl a second time. But, you know, she would only do that if her friends were there. If she was alone, she wouldn't do it. If she was on the one, she wouldn't do it. But she knew if her friends were there and I tried to hit her, her friends were slimy and her friends would try and jump on me. And I didn't want no man trying to beat me. So I was just like, nah, I'm not going to say anything to her. She can sit down there and act the way she wants to act. I didn't talk to anybody because people would look at me sideways. People wouldn't talk to me because of her. And so I had no friends. Like, actually, I had one friend and then I gained two more after that. But most of the people in my class were not, or most of the people in my grade were not my friend because of her. Most of the people in upper grades were not my friend because of her. No one wanted to be my friend because they didn't want to be associated with me because automatically she wouldn't like them if they talked to me. For all of 10th grade, people avoided me like the plague. And it sucked because my friends, they would be having their sweet 16s, but I couldn't go because she would be there and they would choose her over me. I did not cry, not even once. Can you believe that? I can't even believe that. That would be something that would break people. The negatives of it was that I felt very self-conscious. I didn't like being around other people for long periods of time. I didn't like walking into new spaces. I didn't like any of that. I didn't like meeting new people because I felt like she may have already gotten to them. And so that was the downfall to it. I lost quite a bit of self-confidence. But what I gained from it was a more disciplined self. I would go straight home and straight to school and then straight back home. No detours, no in-betweens. Because I'd be home early, I'd be doing all of my schoolwork. I went from like lower grades to being an honor roll student for 3 years straight. For the remainder of my high school career, I was an honor rolls. That pretty much wasn't the end of it. One day, this is the only time I cried. One day I was at my dad's place, right? And I got a call from one of my good friends. She goes, Nisi, look at Facebook. Look at this. Because someone decided to make a slews of 20. Ooh, what year is this? I'm not going to put the year because I can't remember. And my face was there. So imagine you're trying to live your life. You're already anxious. You see that someone has posted your picture in the slews of whatever group. And I was shocked. And I was like, what? And they had a whole description written up. And for the life of me, honestly, I can't remember the description. I didn't know what to do. I ran to my dad crying. And I was like, oh my God, like, look what she's done. My dad's solution was for me to get off the computer. So then I couldn't see anything. But because my good friend had seen it, she jumped into action. She started commenting on it. My sisters, all of my sisters saw it. They jumped into action and started commenting on it. My sister's friends jumped into action. And they started commenting on it. Going off. On this post. And usually in that group, you couldn't get pictures taken down. Like, never. You could never get the pictures taken down. But my sisters and their friends and my best friend at the time managed to get that picture taken down within like 2 hours. And then the next day at school, she was so quick to send message with people talking about,
oh, I didn't do it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of who did it because I didn't.
She's lying. She did it. So anyways, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for my bullying story. How it ended the following year. So some people tried to start like sneaking their way back into my life and talking to me again. And you know, I was obviously hesitant. I did not accept everybody as my friend. Everyone was an acquaintance. Like, all of a sudden people started saying hi to me in the hallway. I was like, okay, whatever. So everyone was taken as an acquaintance. You know, I don't want to speak poor of anybody. But I'm not going to say she's not doing well. But, you know, karma definitely did what it needs to do. The overall, I guess, message you could take from this: don't ever think that there is something wrong with you, because there is never anything wrong with you. There's always something wrong with the person who is attacking you. And I will always believe that, because people will attack you for the simplest thing. Don't be me. Don't fight them, because that may create more trouble for you. But just keep on focusing on you. Focus on, you know, getting the hell out of the shithole. Because look at me now. Yeah, 10 years ago, this girl was calling me slew. I'm living my best life. I just went on vacation to the Philippines the other day. I've been to multiple countries. Thank you, Emma. You bullied me. And that led me to apply myself to my work, which led me to get into a university, which led me to graduate, which led me to apply for a job in Korea. And now look at me. I'm right friggin' here. And you're at home doing question mark. I just feel like I'm not losing here. Comment below if you've ever been in a situation like this. If you are in a situation like this, feel free to send me a message about it. I don't mind giving people advice about what to do in these situations because I've been there. Also, I want to start Nisi Knows It again. It's my little advice section of my channel that if you need advice about anything, come to me. Send me an email. I'll leave my email below. Send me a DM if you want. I'd love to do an episode of Nisi Knows It this month. That's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's not Korea related, but I feel like it's relevant because I do have some younger viewers. I may have some people that can relate. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button so that you get notifications when I post. Hashtag support the mandem. And as always, it's a peace and it's love and it's a annyeong.